Hello there, and welcome back to Tales of Arise.
I hate camping out.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Out of our way! I never miss!
Here I come!
Ready to go!
I'm not done! Double feet attack!
Now I'm in Airborne beast! My specialty!
Be still! Strike!
Blind freak! What did they do? Sit still!
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! Look sharp!
Devastation!
mine!
No escape!
Oh! Now I'm real mad!
It's over! Devastation!
This one's mine!
Take it!
Mine!
No escape!
Going in!
Be still! No escape!
Do it!
It's over!
Going in!
Rip it! Goodwill! Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning
Forward it! I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! We can really make weapons with this?
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my...
Mark, when he slows down, that's our chance!
No!
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf!
No escape!
I wonder how do you pronounce that? Prehender or prehender? Prehender. Anyway, when fast enemies like wolves or monkeys appear, send in Dohalim. His boost attack will nullify their evasive abilities and keep them from dodging attacks.
You require a hand.
Eagle Assault!
Lightning!
Double demon fang! Here I come!
Take this!
No escape!
It was nice while it lasted.
Here I come!
Hurricane!
Dazzle! You're mine!
Do it!
Come on! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Sighted!
My turn!
And again!
I'm not done!
Just getting going in!
Prepare to be seized!
Eagle Assault!
Here I come! I'm not done! Take this! Strike like spear! You're finished! Here I come!
Serpent Knuckle!
Strike!
Shattering the
Double demon
pieces!
fang!
Attack us!
Do it!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's done in history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
What? Crocodile Crusher. Ages ago, this worn-down hammer was used to beat back crocodiles. Those skilled enough to dual-wield with it were lauded as champions. Dual-wield with it? Artifacts confer special effects simply by having them, some of which serve as bonuses that can be enjoyed after clearing the game. You can now set 6 additional arts. Okay. Dohalim, the treasure hunter.
There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen. I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
Now! Hurricane! Devastation!
Go do it!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Did you see?
Sure did. The part where you swung and missed, right?
Not that part!
Let's see.
Seriously? Is this a joke?
You wanna play? Come at me!
Can't get out of this!
Mega Ray! This one's
It's a duel of the arts!
How about this?
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
I'm on it! Take this!
Leave the enemy's arts to me.
No complaints here!
It's over!
Is there
You're mine!
no way of
I'm not done!
Flicker won't
You'll
save
pay
you!
for that!
All hit
Here I
here
come.
and now!
I'll bring you back when that's a bit.
Azure Storm!
Precipitation!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Talon hurricane!
Take this!
Glimmer guardian!
Prepare to be
One
seen!
land! Wait!
Try hard not to hit!
Here's a healing
I'm
art!
not done!
Here goes!
Azure Storm!
Can't get out of this!
It's over!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Here, let me help!
Let's try harder! Now I can let loose! No escape!
Radiant light! Here! Eat
No
this!
escape!
Do
Soaring
it!
Light Spear! Kisara! Commander of Heavens!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Sword and shield!
A classic combination.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around.
Damn!
I'll do my best. Like first. You've got a knack for battle.
I still plan on training.
That's what I like to hear.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Do it! Ringwell!
Frozen?
Hammer!
There's always room for improvement. This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed, and it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danons in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Fair enough.
I think Hoodle's hungry.
Funny.
Let's see here.
Could have sworn that was your stomach making all the racket.
Gotta break through! You're mine!
Eat this!
You're here!
Take this! Tiger Ray! Back into the
Don't
flame!
see us!
Dazzle!
Take this! Ha!
Mega Ray! pressure! Go ahead!
Devastation! Maul! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Wow! Look what I just found.
Right, here goes!
Hey!
Take this! Devastation!
Healing circle!
I lost myself in the heat of the moment.
It's
I can
time
only
to
rely
finish
on
this.
myself.
Die! Consuming wildfire!
Dohalim, IV Master.
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Stone Wing Mantle. A mantle made by tying together hardened Zuga wings. Even in their outer state, the wings still hold trace amounts
I found
of
some
astral
equipment.
energy.
Let me take a look at it.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Saar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that. If I had to guess, it probably served as some kind of shrine.
So still a house, in a sense. Just for a god.
Huh! Alphen actually makes sense. He's not incorrect with what he said, to be fair. Wait, 4? Rank 4? Does that mean there's more? Does that mean that there can be more than just 2 of these? Kabita!
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say.
Well, regardless, it's a beautiful poem. Okay, this one I have to fight.
Gotta bring...
Ready to go! This one's mine! Do it!
Nicely done, Sion.
Frozen?
Hammer!
I got it.
Got what?
I can chop up vegetable scraps and use them in the seasonings.
Should've known that's what it was gonna be about.
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Let's see. Was that really all there was? Okay. Wait.
That's far enough!
I'm pretty worn out.
Wanna rest up for a bit?
This is most likely the main path.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Fair enough.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Saar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we
The
fighting?
heck? Holy crap!
Who even are you? Take this!
Die.
You picked the wrong fight!
It's weakened!
This ends now!
Shield and face!
Demons, who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal!
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Piercing roll!
Armor won't save you!
Fall.
I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Enjoy.
Here, let me help.
No escape!
Here.
There you go. On guard. Feel like me again.
On guard. Annihilation. One more.
It was all mine!
Feeling so great.
Take this! Take this! Now I can let loose.
And just like that, I'm back in it.
Start by holding the
Not
front
today.
line.
No sooner said than done.
Freely.
Take it down.
Escape.
Cyan instant.
Double
I'll
down.
heal you all.
Take this.
Let me help.
First strike.
Brains.
Take this. Can't get out of this.
One more. Piercing down. Here's a healing hook. I'm ready. Going in. Radiant. I never miss.
Look sharp! Now you see what I can do!
One more.
All mine.
Mega ray.
Burn it.
Show me your strength.
Look sharp.
That's
Right.
Here's a healing
It's
hook.
already this fast. Oh.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time. Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen,
Shion!
thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Saar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey.
Seriously? I ended up on the main path by accident. Why is it whenever I try to not go on the main path, I only end up going on the main path? It happens more often than I would like, in all honesty. Also, that guy was pretty badass. Though I'm actually kind of concerned for Law's head. Being literally rammed right into Kisara's shield doesn't seem like a very fun time at all. Unless I suppose there are messages who gets off on that. Ah man, Darkness from Konosuba would definitely enjoy that though. Actually, now that I think about it, I have a friend in real life who actually enjoys stuff like that too, so... maybe I should reconsider who I befriend.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
I say that, but I actually don't mind. Oh, what's this? I've actually been wondering if Alphen was actually one of them, a lord, for a while now. It just seems really odd that the Master Core resonated with him. What is this news?
What's that big tower over there?
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Guess I misread the landing.
Okay, I can get back up. For a moment there, I thought I was trapped here.
Not this way, I guess.
Fair enough. I guess that's something later in the game that unlocks. Wait, what did you say? The old tower in the ridge it stands on have long since been overrun with Sugas. I'd only venture up if you know exactly what you're doing. Can I even venture up? I mean, it looks like it's completely closed off. Unless I can jump in.
Not this way, I guess.
Nope, I cannot. Oh well. Take advantage of the campfire and all that.
Do we have enough food stocked up?
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
No, duh. Let's see. Oh, I've actually never made this before, so might as well.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
But she did tell Law to eat his vegetables. This still counts, right? Drinking them?
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? You worried about what's going on with Menancia?
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara earlier, weren't you?
It's rude to listen in on others, you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself. When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as Lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly. I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
But you're making amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. I do believe it's about time that I retire. Shall we get moving?
Refine Gale Win. I'm really glad I kept my weapons. I was hoping, actually, not knew. I was hoping that they would eventually be used for upgrading other things. Although I was actually expecting them all to be combined into one ultimate weapon. But this works too, honestly. Is this the rarest book that the Bibliophile quest requires?
I always love the sound of hammers banging away.
You know, honestly, I was expecting an owl to be hiding around here somewhere. Fast point. Oh! Okay.
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Saar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest.
The what?
It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renans have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
It's always It's one surprise after another with this game, isn't it? Honestly, this wasn't what I was expecting in the slightest. Anyway, unfortunately, I've hit my time limit for this episode, so we're gonna have to explore whatever the hell happened here. Like, seriously, this place looks like it's been torn through by a tornado and bombs. And again, why did I use that expression? It probably would have been easier to just say it looks like it's been ravaged by war. My bad. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed Tales of Arise. I sincerely hope you would consider giving me your viewership again in the future sometime. And with... Man! This place honestly looks like it's been burned, bombed, and... who knows what kind of battle went on here. As our rather awkward ending note, I bid you off on bye.